Alright, it is Wednesday, April 12th at about 9:30 a.m. I am back out at the location for the yurt, and even though I think I don't have enough materials, I'm going to go ahead and start construction just to see how it goes. I don't have all day to work out here because I got to run somewhere on errands, but I'm going to work out here for a little bit and see how far we get and see if my plan to use these fronds as building material will actually work. So the idea is to get these beams and start taping them together to become beams, longer beams that can be used for the walls of the yurt. And then is my idea, and that is to take these fronds and use the tape over there to tape the pieces together to extend their lengths. Right now I have this thing at approximately 7 foot tall, and what I need to do is make all the beams roughly 7 foot tall, and then I'm going to use them as cross beams to become the walls of the yurt. So I don't know how many of these I'll need because I'm just doing this on the fly. But we're going to go ahead and start making 7 foot beams is what we're going to do today. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to put together a wall for the yurt yet, but the plan will be to start assembling beams that will be used for actual construction. I know you can't see it here on the video, but this is a very slow process. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 of these beams made right now. And essentially I'm taking the smaller pieces and the bigger pieces and extending them all. I'm using them to measure their own height and trying to make them roughly the same height. Hold on, this one looks a little shorter. I think I screwed up on this one. So I'm going to have to redo that one. But I want them all like the same height because I'm going to be making like a lattice work here for the walls for the yurt. So for now, this is the process, and I just got to have all these beams made before I can actually start building. Alright. For those of you who think I'm just out here playing, you should come out here and do this. This is work. It's been about an hour and a half, and this is only as far as I got. I'm continuing to build a couple more, hoping to get enough to actually try to put up part of a wall to test it to see if this theory is going to work. As you can see, my pile's starting to dwindle. I still got, I'm about halfway through. I don't know how many of these beams I'm going to need. I know I'm going to need them for the walls, and then I'm going to need some for the roofing. So I'm thinking this is probably about, maybe only about 20% of what I'm going to need. Maybe 25%. Unless I can get away with fewer. We'll see what happens. I've been out here now for about 2.5 hours working on my yurt, but I don't know if you can hear in the distance there. That is the sound of the others coming really close. They're right over there, that way somewhere. I'm also looking here, and it would appear the bones are missing. Or am I tripping out here? I thought there was a bone right here. No, here it is. It's been buried. And here's the other one. Thought somebody had come out here. Anyhow, this is what we've got so far. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 29 beams so far. Got 29 of these beams that I've made. I'm going to try to hit maybe 30 of them. maybe more, maybe 40. I'm thinking I need at least 50, not more. And of course we got our aerial surveillance here going on, or just airplanes. The others are sounding like they're getting really awfully close. It looks like the sky's starting to get dark, so there might be rain coming. Maybe even a storm. So, and I can hear the others right off in the distance here, not too far from me. I don't have as many beams done as I thought I would like to have done today. And I'm debating whether or not to start building. I can start to build today and make the lattice work, but I think I'm going to run out of cross beams. I think I need about 20 more. And I'm actually kind of running low on these beams here, the fronds that I've been using to make the beams. So I think I might call it a day as far as construction on the yurt today. And plan to come back here and build maybe 20 more of these beams. And then start the actual yurt construction itself. However, since I have a little bit of time, I think I might go ahead and try to explore and see if I can't get to the gray spot that is behind the hut. So stay tuned. Alright, I decided since I had a little bit of time, I was going to try to explore the gray area that is behind the hut, and decided to run Google Maps. And I have reception out here, somewhat limited, but I was able to get the map to come up. And upon looking at the map here on the phone, on my Android phone, on Google Maps versus on the computer, it looks like the map on the Android phone is better. I was able to see the spot behind, the gray spot behind the hut, and it appears to be just trees and shadows, not a building. So I am not going to go ahead and cut through there to explore that section. However, I may go ahead and start laying out my the lattice work for the yurt, since I have a few minutes, a little bit of time here left before I gotta head back. I don't know if you can hear all the wildlife out here. There's all the weird noises. I'm thinking birds. But we're going to go ahead and see, I've gathered the pieces. I've got about 32 of those built. I don't think that's enough, but I think it's enough to get started, just to see if this idea will even work. So I'll be laying these out in lattice format to see if I can try to get a wall, or part of a wall up. Alright, first things first. I need to try to line them up so that the beams are the same height and roughly the same angle. So what I've done is I've taken some beams and just laid them down as a straight line guide, so I can lay the lattice work here and begin construction of a piece of the wall. So I've got it laying this way. Now I've got to lay it going crossway. Then I got to start attaching the pieces. And we'll see if this is actually going to hold or even be strong enough. So let me lay the other pieces and then I'll continue filming. As you can see, I've started to lay down the beams, the cross beams, to try to make my lattice work. And just laying it out to see how it's going to look. And I think this is big enough that I don't know how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to go ahead and start taping, or I'm going to try to use Ziploc, the zip ties on the lattices to try to hold them in place. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to attach everything and assemble the whole unit, because I'm out of space to lay it out. So, the idea is to put zip ties here, start tying down the beams, and hopefully everything will hold. I'm just hoping I have everything built so that it's like somewhat even here. You know, I can't really tell if I'm even or not. I guess you can only do the best you can do, right? Here then is the plan, just so you know how I'm planning on securing everything. See the zip ties, the cable ties here that I got? I've been attaching them like that, just to kind of hold it in place. I haven't got it on all of them, but I'm holding it in place. Not super tight right now, but kind of loose, so there's a little bit of play. And I've started to secure each of the joints. At least that's the plan. We'll see how well it actually holds up. As I can tell, I've got them all tied down now. All the units, all the joints have been tied down. And now I'm going to attempt to lift it up to see how this wall does. This piece looks like it's still missing here, but maybe I'll put another beam in. But there wasn't room. Just hope it doesn't fall apart when I try to pick it all up. We'll see what happens. After some anticipation and a little bit of nerves here as I was picking it up, hoping nothing cracked and broke, because these are pretty brittle, I was able to get the wall up. Part of it. This is part of the yurt wall here. I think this is going to work. I think this will work. Woohoo! Yes! So we're going to probably call it a day here shortly. Although I might try to secure this a little bit. But it's looking really good. I'm really, really happy with how it's turning out. Thought I'd go ahead and point it out for anyone else who is thinking of constructing something like this. Going with the zip tie here, these tie things that I bought from Walmart was actually a pretty lucky and smart choice. The cable ties, they're really fast to use, and as you can see, I'm actually able to erect more of the wall while it's standing up. So I can start to complete my circular structure here for the yurt itself by adding more and more zip ties and just trying to keep it as straight as I can. I'm kind of eyeballing all this. This is being hand built without much tools, just what you see here. Zip ties, fronds, and whatchamacallit, duct tape. So we'll see what happens here. As you can see, our yurt is beginning to take shape. The storm is about to come, and I got to leave here in a few minutes, so I'm not going to be able to finish the framework today. But I'm going to try to get as much as I can. Maybe, hopefully, I can connect it and have kind of a framework. But just a little tip for anyone wanting to build it from scratch, like I'm doing right here. What I found is that as I lay these beams across, it's best to start at the top here, then have it angled down, then put in the cross beams versus trying to do it in the middle or somewhere else. So as I lay this down, this top beam, I have two of them here, then I'll lay the other cross beam going this way. And I'll keep doing that. Also, as you can see, these fronds are really fragile, and one already broke, so I just went ahead and put another beam in its place and just taped them together to kind of give it some strength. This whole structure is pretty weak, so I hope the storm coming in doesn't blow it down before I have a chance to secure it and make it stronger, because right now it is very weak. All it is just the fronds, and I don't have any reinforcements. You can see the yurt is starting to take shape. I have a doorway now. And the framework for the building. I don't know how large it is, but it's, I want to guess about 80 square feet, 90 square feet big inside. I don't know. Big enough to have a bed and a little cottage-like feel to it almost. Sadly, I have to leave today because I have some errands I got to run. But when I come back, I'm going to continue building here. This isn't going to be a traditional yurt because yurts by their nature are actually like a tent that you can assemble and disassemble. This one's going to be built in the form of a yurt. It's a pseudo yurt, I guess, because we're going to reinforce it. I'm going to be putting beams across to make the structure a little stronger, and then we're going to be figuring out what we're going to use for a covering here. I think traditional yurts use wool. I think a modern yurt use canvas. We are going to use trash, leftover scraps, whatever we can find. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So stay tuned, and hopefully next time you see me working out here, we'll be able to get more work done.